Hi, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2 or PF2. I love PF2, and I love how far these people go down the rabbit hole. When they have a concept, a theme, they just seem to go all the way. And this one is plants. I love the plant theme. I mean, you would know that if you've seen my Cabbage Mancer video. I'll link it at the end if I remember. So, we're going through the Wardens of Wildwood adventure path. Obviously, heavy spoilers. Duh. Or you wouldn't have clicked on this if you didn't know that. So, these are all going to be the Ancestry Feats for any plant ancestry, in most cases. Sometimes just Ardande. But even those, I mean, they're plants. You could probably just take them with Leshies or Ghoran or Conrasu. I know there's new Conrasu feats in here. It's freaking weird. I love plants, and I like weird ancestries. So this really speaks to me. So the intro. Unfettered growth. The Plane of Wood is a plane forgotten, a secret lost to time and faded into obscurity, alluded to only in the most obscure legends. Now the Plane of Wood is returning, and its influence is spreading. As a tree spreads its roots far beyond its trunk, so too does the Plane of Wood spread its vitality and magic to planes and worlds beyond. The Plane of Wood is an eternal forest filled with trees whose branches give way to ever smaller trees. It's a place of vibrant plant life and unfettered growth. The plane is inhabited by wood elementals, dryads, forest dragons, wood scamps. That's wood methods, basically. Kizadar genies, and more, all ruled by the elemental lords of wood, Shimunu and Verilorn. I like Verilorn because he's the eternal gardener. It's just interesting. He makes hedge mazes and paths and stuff out of plants. For more information on the Plane of Wood, see Pathfinder Rage of Elements and Pathfinder Adventure number 203, Shepherd of Decay. That's the next one in this series. While primal magic can manipulate plants, fungi, and wood, the returning Plane of Wood enables characters to tap into ligneous power in all new ways. That just means plant-like. Yet such power often comes with a cost. Much like the wood warps and wood blessed in this adventure, powerful planar magic frequently overwhelms mortals, flooding their body with the plane's unfettered growth or the pernicious power of Erzul's blight. That's just part of the story. I'm not going to explain it. The following decay, plant, and wood-themed character options permeate the Plane of Wood. Characters playing this adventure path can gain access to these options in a variety of ways, including by wielding ancient primal magic traditions in the Verduran Forest, embracing some of the Wildwood Lodge's dangerous magic in Pathfinder Adventure number 202, Severed at the Root, or while exploring the Plane of Wood in Pathfinder Adventure number 203, Shepherd of Decay. Obviously, it's saying buy these books. Yeah. This is so neat. All right. A quick aside, I just want to say thank you to Eternal Warrior, or Super Eagle, depending on where your name is, for giving me the impetus to look up this adventure path. And, I had already been given it by Paizo. I just didn't read it, because I didn't plan on running it. There's so much cool stuff in here that's not the adventure. All right, Ancestry Feats. The following feats are for plant-based ancestries, including Ardandes, Conrasus, Ghorans, and Leshies. And by the way, Leshies are now a common ancestry, so they can be accessed by the general feat Adopted Ancestry. So anyone can take these with a general feat. Isn't that splendid? All right, first feat, level 1, Caustic Nectar. Uncommon, but these are all uncommon. You need GM approval because they're from an AP. But you also need a GM approval to play any plant ancestry besides Leshy. Prerequisites for this one: Ardande trait, plant trait, or wood trait. You have specialized glands inside your throat which produce acidic nectar that you can spit long distances. You gain a nectar ranged unarmed attack with a range increment of 20 feet that deals 1d4 acid damage. On a critical hit, the target is additionally sickened 1. Your nectar doesn't add critical specialization effects. You're immune to your own nectar. This is freaking awesome. Because any of these ancestries can take a first level feat, and they have a natural weapon of projecting their phlegm 20 feet. This is great. Oh man, I like natural unarmed attacks. I like things that have flavor too, and this has both. Next feat, level 1, Unbowed Unbroken. It has the Ardande and Lineage traits, which means it's only for them. Your connection to elemental wood manifests as resilience, towering trees, rough bark, deep roots, and patient determination. You gain the unwavering resilience reaction. I would argue that... Oh, actually there's a Ghoran ancestry, or heritage, that already has this. Unwavering resilience, it's a reaction trigger. You attempt a saving throw against a poison, disease, or mental effect, but you haven't rolled yet. Poison, disease, or mental. Interesting. You tap into the power of the Plane of Wood, gaining strength and mental fortitude. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus on the triggering save. If you critically succeed at this saving throw, you become bolstered by your success. Blossoms and new growth temporarily sprout all over your body, and you gain a number of temporary hit points equal to your level. These temporary hit points last for 1 minute. When these temporary hit points are lost, the verdant growth subsides. Okay, so this is not something that already exists in a heritage. This is really, really neat. But I would allow any plant-like creature to take this as a lineage feat. It's neat. Alright, next feat, level 1, Wilderness Born. I didn't go over the last one because it's so generally useful, like why wouldn't you take it? It's useful in so many situations. It's good. Next feat, level 1, Wilderness Born. Prerequisites, Ardande trait, plant trait, or wood trait. You're at home in the wilderness and easily disappear into it. You gain a +1 circumstance bonus to hide and sneak in natural terrain, and a +1 circumstance bonus to sense direction in natural terrain. While in natural terrain, you're always considered to be covering tracks, even if you chose a different activity in exploration mode. Cool. It's a mild benefit. I know, sometimes the +1 really matters. But I would see this as a collection of 4 mild benefits, one of which will rarely ever come up. Sense direction in natural terrain. How many times do you have to roll that? Not often. There are a slew of minor benefits, but altogether it definitely accentuates the flavor of your character. You are made of plant matter. You are from the woods. All of these say special. This feat gains the trait for your ancestry. Fine. Next feat, level 5, Quick Root. It's a reaction, prerequisites, Ardande trait, plant trait, or wood trait. Trigger. A creature successfully shoves or trips you, or you fail a saving throw against an effect that would move you or knock you prone. So this is just a reaction, but it's at level 5. You react instinctively, sprouting roots from your legs and plunging them deep into the ground to keep your footing. If a force would move you, you move half that distance to a minimum of 5 feet. If you would be knocked prone, resolve the effect, then you stand. Neat! I love it! I haven't seen anything else that just like negates prone. Granted, you are prone for a moment, but then you stand up. That's cool. I like that a lot. It's an uncommon ability. Next feat, level 9, Grow Tool. 3 actions. As the plant and primal traits, prerequisites, Ardande trait, plant trait, or wood trait. You grow a simple tool from your own body, coaxing flowers, vines, roots, and wood to grow and sprout from your flesh into the desired shape. Flesh is in quotes. It should be, because you're probably made of vines and wood. You create a... There's a mistype here. You create one level 0 common simple tool with no intricate parts or written text, such as a crowbar, rope, or shovel. You can't replicate a toolkit or weapon with this ability. This item lasts for 1 minute or until you create another tool with this ability, whichever comes first. When the duration runs out, the item crumbles to mulch. To mulch. But you can just keep doing it. That's neat. I like that it is perpetually useful. You always have something. A rope? Sure, let me just pull some vines out of my head. Yeah, that's cool. Next feat, level 9, Pollinate. It's a reaction. Prerequisites, Ardande trait, plant trait, or wood trait. Trigger, you take bludgeoning damage. As you're hit, you emit a dense cloud of pollen, obscuring you from sight. You become concealed until the beginning of your next turn. That's it. It's just hard to hit you more times. There's no limit on how many times you can do this. This is great. Yeah, it's level 9. It's a while to wait for it, but it's freaking useful. It's very useful. Next feat, level 13, One with the Wild. Prerequisites, Wilderness Born. Just, you were born in the wild somewhere. You naturally blend in with the wilderness, becoming camouflaged. In natural terrain, you can hide and sneak even without cover or being concealed. Cool. If you've made it to level 13 and you don't have something that does that already, this has you covered just in case. Yes, I'm not all that thrilled about it. It's not all that useful, and it's not going to be for most people. But it is convenient. It fills a possible gap in something you wanted to be able to do. So sure, you can pick it up with an Ancestry feat. Next feat, level 13, Unfettered Growth. Prerequisites: Ardande trait, plant trait, or wood trait. By tapping into the limitless power of the plane of wood, you can experience sudden dramatic growth for a short time. Select one of the following benefits when you gain this feat. This choice is permanent and can't be changed. Okay. You gain 2nd rank Enlarge as a primal innate spell. You can cast the spell twice per day and must target yourself. The spell's duration is 30 minutes. Great. Twice a day, 30 minutes. I'm large-sized. Neat. Or you gain 4th rank Enlarge as a primal innate spell. You can cast the spell once per day and must target yourself. Okay, I'd take that one. Yeah, it doesn't last long. But I'm friggin' huge. Yep, that's great. I love that. That's really good. Next feat, level 17, Irresistible Bloom. It has the traits Emotion, Incapacitation, Mental, Olfactory, and Visual. And the prerequisites are Ardande trait, plant trait, or wood trait. Plus it gains a trait for your ancestry. It takes 1 action, frequency once per day. You bloom, sprouting flowers and releasing a pleasant smell, becoming irresistible. All creatures in a 30-foot emanation must attempt a will save with a DC equal to your class DC or spell DC, whichever is higher. On a failure, a creature becomes fascinated with you and must spend at least one of its actions on its next turn moving toward you. On a critical failure, you acting hostile to that creature allows them to attempt another save, rather than automatically ending the fascination. Okay. These effects last until the beginning of your next turn. You can spend 1 action at the beginning of your turn to sustain the effects for an additional round. You can sustain it in this way for a maximum of 1 minute. It's a spell that just fascinates everyone. That's neat. Group Demoralize is very powerful. Group Fascinate, I'd argue, is more powerful, because Fascinate means that whatever action a person takes has to include you. So you're basically tanking. So this is for plant tanks, or tanks full of plants. It's cool. It's useful. It's quite interesting as well. Next feat, level 17, Potent Nectar. Prerequisites: Caustic Nectar. That makes sense. The first level feat. Your nectar becomes particularly dangerous. Select one of the following benefits when you gain this feat. This choice is permanent and can't be changed. Your nectar is sticky and clings to your target. Your nectar unarmed attack deals an additional 1d4 persistent acid damage to the target. This persistent damage isn't multiplied on a critical hit. Or, your nectar is shot at high velocity and splashes upon contact. Your nectar unarmed attack additionally deals 1d4 acid splash damage. This splash damage isn't multiplied on a critical hit. Okay, so I would go with the persistent acid damage, because that's actually useful. But it isn't multiplied, and it doesn't increase in any way. Not impressed. Sorry, not great. Just isn't. It's a slight benefit. At level 17, it's going to be overshadowed by any magical items you have. Probably won't take it, ever. Which is sad, because it had potential. Okay, so I guess if you had to change it to modify it to let it be cool and useful at level 17, I would allow it to increase in the number of dice. Actually, it wouldn't. It's at level 17, so I'd probably have it do an additional 3d4 instead of 1d4. I mean, look at potions at this level, or poisons. Things that you can just get cheaply compared to your level at this point. Is it going to do something similar? It needs to compete with other things that you could choose. Otherwise, why would you choose this? So I'd probably have it do 3d4 in both cases. That's still not a lot of an increase, but it is more reasonable that you would use it. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. If you're a patron, as always, thank you for being here. You're cool. Even if you're not cool, now you're cool, because you're here and you give a damn. If you are not a patron, you can check out Patreon below. There's some free articles from the past. Cat hair should not float. That's a problem. I'm starting a petition. Anyway, if you are or are not a patron, come join us in Discord and chat with us if you like. You'll just find like-minded, weird people who are gamer freaks, probably obsessive about their characters, maybe a little bit too much. That's fine. I'm doing a weekly build contest right now. Just finished the first week, or by the time you see this, maybe the second week. I'm not sure. But it's mainly for fun. Like, the person that wins, though, does get to have their character highlighted on a future live stream of mine. Like, the same week that they win, it's going to be in the game. So it sort of makes me work extra hard because I have like 3 days to figure out how it can factor into the adventure. But it's fun. We've done pirates, and I don't know what else we're doing because I made this video in advance. But come join if you'd like. Like I mentioned at the beginning, check out the Cabbagemancer video. If you like plant creatures, that's a great video for you to get inspiration from. Or to just copy whole cloth. You can download the PDF if you want. There's a link in the video. And over here you can check out the Howl of the Wild videos, because if you like plant nature, you probably like animal nature too. You filthy animals. Thanks for being here. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.